Hello mate, I spun the hard Monday, now you play the London, dun.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. So as you can see by the title, today we'll be discussing the process of moving back to Jamaica or moving to Jamaica if you never lived in Jamaica. So it was requested on my TikTok page based on the content I did of me moving back, so I decided to give you guys a full detailed video of basically what to do or what to expect, kind of something like that. I made a few notes on my phone just so I don't really forget anything, because it is quite a lot to go through, to be honest. If you're hearing the fan in the background, let me turn it down because I know the place is hot, so I have the fan on 24/7, but let me turn it down a bit. Alright, I hope that's better. This is basically what my notes page looks like. It's a lot. But without further ado, if this is something that you are interested in or if it's something you want to know more about, continue watching this video. Okay, so firstly, let me just say that it's really not as difficult as it may seem. It might be a big decision and it might seem very overwhelming, but it's really just a matter of preparing yourself and getting on that flight, and that's it. So beforehand, I'd like to say save. I think that that's going to be a very important thing, and I would assume that you guys wouldn't just jump to the conclusion to move back just like that. Obviously it must be something that you have thought about, and I would say definitely ensure that you get adequate experience in Jamaica as well, because if you haven't lived in Jamaica, let's say for even 3-5 years, maybe even more, then Jamaica that you left is not the same Jamaica that is here now. Jamaica is a lot more expensive than it was before. Let's start there. Things are a bit differently than what you may have remembered. So because you haven't been there for a while, and you know, it's just with humans in general, if we've been in a space for a while, it's more fresh in our minds now, and we are used to the little annoyances and stuff, and then we're thinking about where we were, and you're thinking that, yeah, I was happier there, this and that and that, but the reality is you've just been out of the space so long that you don't really remember all the negatives that you were experiencing. So I say that to say that if you are going to be making the decision to move here or to move back here, spend adequate time here first. So if it's even, I know many people may not be able to spend like even a month here on holiday or anything like that. Some people might have a 9-to-5, may only be able to get like 2 weeks off or so, but I would really suggest like trying to spend a long period here before deciding to move back, because the reality is the way how you feel on day 2 or day 5 will not be the same way how you feel on day 100, 200. So even a year after that, you won't feel the same way as when you just got here. So I definitely suggest like getting some experience here, like spending some time just to ensure that you kind of get a feel for the place again. You kind of see what has changed, what it's like now, before you make the decision that you would want to move back. So that's definitely one of my main advice that I can give. Do not make the decision lightly. Have some experience here, spend some time here, and think about it, and save, because you will need money. Jamaica not cheap. If you feel like Jamaica cheap, think again. It's not cheap. So if it is that you are not a citizen of Jamaica, then you would definitely have to like do some research on getting naturalized and getting a citizenship out here. I'm not that informed on the process because obviously I was born here, so I didn't have to do any of that. So if it's something that you will have to do, then I would suggest doing your research, seeing how long it takes. If it is that you need to apply before coming here, all of that, just ensure that you have all your ducks in a row as it pertains to being a citizen. Obviously you're going to need to sort out where you're going to live, because I wouldn't expect that you would just take a flight and then be like, okay, I'll figure it out when I get there. That's not very wise, and it may end up to be a lot more expensive than it needed to be. So if you like plan beforehand and say if you're getting an apartment or if you're going to be staying with family, kind of just start it out before, and then you know that you at least have that in place, because it wouldn't be realistic to come and then have to be in a hotel or even an Airbnb and then trying to find somewhere more permanent, because the reality is that's going to cost you a lot more as opposed to if you had already started it out prior to coming here. So definitely have a think about that and see where you plan to live and make all the necessary arrangements so that everything is prepared for you when you arrive. Another very important thing, which is obviously one of the first things that you need to consider, is income. Probably need to consider that before you consider where you live. But income, your income stream, like how are you going to be surviving? What are you going to be making money from in your time in Jamaica? Like if it is that you have a work from home job where you can travel and work from anywhere, any country, that would be perfect. Reality is that means that you would possibly be getting like paid in USD or another currency, and then you'll be in Jamaica, so obviously the money will go a further distance. You'll have it for a longer time. You'll be able to basically live more comfortably if you're earning outside of the Jamaican currency. If it is that you feel as if you have maybe a simplistic lifestyle and you can survive on a salary from just working in Jamaica, working a regular job, then fine, why not get one? Personally, I, as you guys would know, run my businesses, so I don't have to be, you know, in a particular place to be making money. So it's important to kind of just have a think about it though. Think about what works for you, what's best for you, and what you think you would be able to survive on. So you're definitely going to need to have a budget, and that also ties into why I say you should spend some time in Jamaica first, so that way you can have a better understanding of cost of living, what food costs, what rent and all of that is going to cost you, so that way you can work out your budget and you'll see how much you need to be earning per month, and then you can find a job that pays that, or find all the income streams that you need to be able to afford that standard of living that you are used to or that you want to have while you are here. So definitely recommend starting out your income streams and budgeting. Ensure that you budget and ensure that you stick to the budget, because the reality is you can find yourself very broke if you just go around spending. Because trust me, when it is that you're spending in a different currency, one that is not as strong as your currency, you're going to always be thinking that, you know, this cheap, or you know, it's not much money, this and that and that. But the reality is it all adds up, and before you know it, you have blown through 100,000 in a few days, and you're like, whoa, how? You get me? So it's important to budget and stick to the budget. Not because you are coming from abroad. Remember that you're coming to live here. It's not a case where you're coming only for a week or two, where you know, say if Tom, Dick and Harry beg you $1,000, you'll give them. Be wise with how you give away money, because remember that now you are a citizen here, now you are living here. So it's not a case where, oh, you're gonna take up all your money and give away. No, you need it for survive next week and the week after that. So just have a think about income streams and budget, and yeah, it kind of will all boil down to what your standard of living is, what it is that you like to do with money, how it is that you spend your money, if you get what I'm saying. So with everybody it will be different, so I can't tell you for a fact, say okay, you need to have 200,000 per month or you need to have 100,000 per month. It all depends on you. So have a think about it and plan ahead. Oh, and as it relates to own businesses, for those of you who are fellow entrepreneurs like myself, if it is that you're planning to start a business in Jamaica and that is an income stream that you're considering, then what I can tell you is Jamaica is a very easy country to start a business in. It will be easy to come off the ground. Of course, it depends on the type of business that you're starting, but I would suggest doing some research to ensure that you're not doing anything that is too populated per se, anything that you know is already easily accessible. Try to think outside of the box and try to come with a service or a product that is not easily accessible here. So because you're coming from overseas, you kind of have exposure and knowledge of things that might be in a first world country that Jamaica doesn't have here. So think about those type of things, maybe even make a list, jot them down, and think about what you could bring to Jamaica that Jamaica has never seen before and that they could really benefit from, and that you can actually start a fruitful business from. So it's worth a thought, but definitely Jamaica is a very easy country to start a business in. So if that's your plan on an income stream, I would still suggest saving a bit first, because obviously starting a business, you won't be earning straight away. You will have a time when you need to be surviving off money you already have. So save a bit first and then make your plans and go for it. Another thing that you guys need to bear in mind is that food is expensive in Jamaica, and certain little toiletries, small stuff like that that are very affordable overseas will be expensive in Jamaica. So what I would suggest is to consider sending barrels. So if it's a case where you want to send like 2 barrel, 3 barrel, if it's even just to start off with to last you for a few months, it won't last you for the entire time you're here, probably, depending on how long. But yeah, just consider sending some food barrels, and maybe I'll do a detailed video on barrels in itself, like what's best to send and how much it will cost and all of that. But just doing an overview now, I would say consider sending some food barrels, buying some barrels, packing them up with some food, snacks, everything that you normally use, your toiletries, and then send them out here, and that will definitely give you a kickstart, so you won't have to be focusing on buying groceries and all of that when you do get here. And ensure that obviously when you're going through the airport you collect the little slip that will enable you to get a discount on the clearance of your barrel. Obviously if you're coming from another place where you are already settled, you are living there, you have a lot of stuff there, all of that, so you will need to figure out obviously what you're going to be doing with all those things. So whether it is that you want to post them up on Facebook Market for sale, whether it is that you want to give them away, donate them to charity, all of that, it's something that is worth thinking about. Or if it's a case where you do intend to go back to that place, or you do intend to go back to that country, maybe not long after, then you can consider getting a storage unit and storing some stuff there. And obviously you'll have to pay like a monthly fee, but it would work out cheaper than paying rent for somewhere while you're not living there. So it's worth considering getting a storage unit and packing your stuff away if you're going back, and selling and giving them away if you're not going back. And please do ensure that you book your ticket in advance to come to Jamaica. Obviously if you don't have an intended return date, then it would be a one-way ticket, but you want to book in advance because you know that it's cheaper the way there, and you would like to be efficient around here, so cost efficient that is. So yeah, ensure that you book your ticket early out, and basically just start putting things into place, start saving, start packing away your things, giving away your things, making plans, budgeting, all of that. So the process itself, I wouldn't say it's just something that you get up and do. It will take maybe months, maybe even a year, depending on how much preparation you need to do. But I would definitely say take your time, prepare and put things into place before making the move. So once you do arrive in Jamaica, you will need to sort out your documents. Like I said, if you have to apply for citizenship and naturalization, then you have to research and see what you need to do in order to get that. But however, other documents like your TRN, your NIS, maybe even your official voter's ID, all of that, you'll need to look into getting those if you are already a citizen here. So if you're not a citizen, then it's something that you'll need to sort out before you can get your documents, I believe. But eventually you will need these basically to do majority of the stuff in Jamaica. So it's important to ensure that you get your NIS, your TRN. The voter's ID is kind of, I would say, debatable, kind of optional, because at the end of the day you can always use your passport or your driver's license as your ID. So I don't think the voter's ID is that important unless it's specific to voting. I don't know, I never vote, I have no idea. But yeah, it does take quite a while to get your voter's ID though, months, probably about 6 months or more I think. So it's ridiculous. One thing you do need to bear in mind though, Jamaica is not as speedy as England and America and all of them other countries, like Canada. Please bear that in mind. You will be at the bank for an entire day just to open an account. You will be at the tax office for hours just to get a document. So bear in mind that the country is very much slow. They are not technological. Nothing is really online. Everything is kind of still paper, like having to do in person, have to go in to fill out forms, all of them, something there. Everything is still very much physical. So it's definitely one of the downsides to Jamaica, but it's something that you do have to remember and bear in mind. You will have a lot of stress in the beginning when you have to sort out all these documents, and it will take you a lot of time, and you'll be in the hot sun for a long period trying to get from place to place. So all I'm saying is prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. My wish for Jamaica is that they start to be more digital and start to like get with the time and actually do things online now. But until then, just bear in mind that you'll have hours and days being wasted before you can get your documents in place. So that's something to bear in mind. My next tip would be, once you've come to Jamaica, to open a bank account here. So you'll definitely need a bank account. I believe I can't really see a way around it, because obviously I do send money to myself, for example through Western Union. You can do like self transfers, but it will work out a lot better for you if you have a bank account. You could even send the money directly to your bank account from Western Union. So I don't know, I can't really see a way around it. So I definitely think you should get a bank account. As it relates to which bank you should go with, then that's something that you'll have to just figure out on your own. We do have quite a few banks here, not as many as we have in other countries, I'm sure, but Jamaica has a little, a few. I'm pretty sure it's less than 10 anyway, so it won't be a lot of choices to make. Basically, I think those are the main things to cover, but ensure that in all that you do, you have a long-term plan, whether it is that it's business related, whether it is that it's just for your personal life, for your happiness, whatever it is that you're after. If it is that you just feel more free and happy in Jamaica, then by all means, but just have a plan. Don't just come here thinking that it will just solve everything for you automatically. It doesn't. You still do have to live your life, you know, make the right decisions, whatever, all of that. So it's just important to have a plan based on what you are looking for, what your intentions are. Have a plan. Have a plan. Have a plan. Like I said earlier, the country is not cheap. Food is going to be expensive. Utilities, water, electricity, all of that is expensive. Rent, depending on the area that you're living, might be expensive. I mean, real estate in Jamaica now has become quite expensive. If it's a case that you intend to get a house here in the future, though, I do suggest starting your NHT payments. It's not something that I add on the list, but I do suggest opening an account and starting your NHT payments. You'll have to look directly, I think, at the tax office, or maybe call NHT directly to see what's the best ways to go about starting to pay your contributions. But I know that if you're working in Jamaica, it's kind of automatic, where they kind of deduct it from your salary, I believe. But if you are like overseas based, then you would be like a voluntary contributor, like myself. That's what I did. But if you're living here now, then get some information to see what's the best way to go about doing it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the tips that I had. If I think about anything, maybe I might come and add some more, but for now that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below, and I'll definitely go ahead and answer them all. I'll try to answer everything. So yeah, just leave all your questions below. Remember to follow me on all socials, on Instagram at Kenique_unique, on TikTok at Kenique_, and yeah, follow me everywhere. Follow my business page KUcollection_JA on Instagram as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. My eyes are literally shutting. It's nap time right now for me, but I decided to just get this video out the way so that I can have it to upload it based on the requests that I receive. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. Once again, leave your questions in the comment section below. Until next time, bye.
London, dun 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 dun. London, dun 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 dun.